Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the Marketplace. Coming up, Parliament's Finance Committee approves $300 million World Bank loan for consideration by the House this week. Also coming up, Ghana's program with the IMF at risk if the country fails to meet tax obligations. We hear from the Finance Minister who is asking the GRA to address the revenue mobilization gaps.
It's also critical to the success of the IMF Extended Credit Facility Program. We cannot afford to miss our commitments under the program.
And Cedi loses 3.56% to dollar since beginning of this year as it shed value to all the major foreign currencies last week. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for joining us. Details coming up. Thanks for staying with us. First up, the Finance Committee of Parliament has finally approved a $300 million World Bank facility to support the 2024 budget. George Jaffe has more.
Development should now pave the way for the full House of Parliament to consider the facility and possibly approve the deal. This would then allow the Bank of Ghana to transfer the $300 million to Government of Ghana's accounts at the Bank of Ghana. The Finance Ministry can then go ahead and draw down the cedi equivalent of the dollar facility. For the Bank of Ghana, it's going to come as a big relief because of its impact on its international reserves. This is because it will be in a better position to support the Ghana cedi at a time that the local currency is under some pressure. But for the central bank, it was quick to add that the limited support for the market is more of a plan to be strategic with its reserves rather than the fact that it is facing some supply challenges. The World Bank approved some $300 million last month to support Ghana's economy as part of the broader IMF program. However, disbursements have delayed due to government's inability to secure Parliament's approval for the facility to aid in the transfer of the funds from Washington, D.C. to Government of Ghana's account at the Bank of Ghana here in Accra.
Now, Finance Minister Dr. Amin has challenged the Ghana Revenue Authority to be proactive in addressing any gaps in line with this revenue generation. He warns Ghana's program with the International Monetary Fund would be under threat if the country fails to meet some tax obligations. The minister said this at an engagement with the commissioners of the authority.
Finance Minister Dr.Amin reiterated the need to urgently push for a roadmap for the Ghana Revenue Authority to rake in more revenue to meet the pressing needs of the economy. According to him, this is key to addressing some economic challenges, including the completion of some critical stalled infrastructures.
But if we have a roadmap that is clearly defined and we all understand our roles and what we all have to do to contribute to achieving the target for 2024, I believe we will do better. So we need urgently to agree on the roadmap to enable us to exceed the revenue target and meet the pressing needs of our country, including completing critical infrastructure, including your own headquarters infrastructure. Achieving and exceeding the target is also critical to the success of the IMF Extended Credit Facility Program. We cannot afford to miss our commitments under the program because the consequences will not be good for our country.
Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, expressed optimism of his outfit to exceed its targets.
We did 49, so at least it means that next year we should do at least 50 if we want to keep on the trend that we have set. And therefore, all the initiatives that you talk about and all the areas that you have hinted, we are committed to see how we can continue to plug the holes and the leakages. And we are committed to also to see how we can fast track, as you have just said, as far as the digitalization is concerned. We've done a lot, and we still believe that, as you've said, there's a lot more that can be done. We have engaged with like the DVLA, the SNATE. We do receive the data as we speak now, and then sometimes people are a bit concerned when they see us coming because they are wondering how did you know that he now owns a new car? Yes. It's all because these ones are working for us.
The finance minister called on the GRA to continue collaborating to achieve operational efficiency. James Echen's report for Joy Business.
Meanwhile, the Finance Minister, Dr. Amin, has hinted of visiting some ports across the country soon to weed out corrupt activities. This comes after several reports of corrupt activities by some port officials. Dr. Amin indicated that he has personally confirmed some of these activities and is willing to work to reduce the menace.
Commissioner General, as you may be aware, the perception of corruption is very deep, but also complaints about the unfriendly nature of our tax collection system. I am happy to note that recently you had a conference on how friendly tax collection could be and the mechanisms you want to put in place so that we give tax collection a human face. People have complained of multiple audits. People have complained of harassment. I know that when people don't want to pay taxes, they can give all the excuses you can find. But if that is anything to go by, it is telling us that we can improve on the interaction between us and our taxpayers. We can introduce systems that will make tax collection friendly. In some other jurisdiction, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes for somebody to file the tax returns. We should be able to do this so that we will motivate and incentivize taxpayers, knowing that they are not going to spend so much time. You know, some have complained that tax collectors come and sit in their offices days for days, and they are not able to work. I think that this faceless system we so much talked about can help all of us, you know, but this will require so much dedication to implement it. Sometimes you have to be bold to do what people think you cannot do. And I know that you can do it. You've done it before, but you can do better. So I personally want to support you in the field, you know, and therefore, over the next 1 week, I will join you to visit some of the ports, the Tema Port, the Kutuka International Airport, and I will go with you as well to the border areas, Elobo, Aflao, so that I can understand at first hand what your staff, your officers are going through and what support they need for us to provide to them so that they can be more efficient, they can be more dedicated, you know, so that they can die a little more for our country. And so, Commissioner General, we are here to support you and your team because we know that when Ghana is good, it's good for all of us. If it is bad, obviously, nobody will have any space to live comfortably in this country.
The Finance Minister's engagement with the GRA there. Now, the Ghana cedi has lost 3.56% to the dollar in the retail market since the beginning of this year. Though the depreciation pressures have eased and liquidity has also improved, the local currency still lost 0.40% in value week on week to the American greenback last week. Here's more in this report.
The local currency lost ground last week despite improved market liquidity. This came on the back of corporate demand and stronger than expected January 2024 inflation. After depreciating in the first two trading sessions, the Bank of Ghana's $15 million spot market provision and the $20 million auctioned to the bulk oil distribution companies helped hold the cedi steady at 12 cedis 58 pesos to the dollar until the week's close. But the cedi lost 0.40% to the dollar in the retail market. The U.S. January 2024 inflation moderated to 3.1% from 3.4% in December 2023. Analysts anticipate this may renew market uncertainties and strengthen the dollar as the market anticipates the Fed to hold the policy rate in the next meeting. They also believe this may introduce depreciation pressures on emerging market currencies, including the cedi, in the near term.
The Ghana Institution of Surveyors is calling for the passage of the Surveying Council Bill. According to President of the institution, Alhaji Suleiman Mahama, the bill will help ensure strict adherence to rules and regulations guiding the profession to reduce activities of quack surveyors. He was speaking at the 19th Surveyors Week and 55th Annual General Meeting.
The Ghana Institution of Surveyors is calling on government to address issues related to its Survey Council Bill and fast-track its passage into law. The bill, which is currently before the Attorney General, is yet to be passed after several years. In an interview with Joy Business at the launch of the Surveyors Week and 55th Annual General Meeting, President of the institution, Surveyor Alhaji Suleiman Mahama, said the passage of the bill will help ensure compliance to rules in the sector.
The industry has its own challenges. But the biggest one we have is the fact that we are still working under the Professional Bodies Act, which actually makes us like an association. We are not, the law, we don't have a governing law that actually compels our members and then also restricts people into the way, what they can do. So, for example, where I was asked a question relating to quack surveyors. At the moment, there is no punishment for a quack surveyor when he does any quack job. But when we get the Surveying Council Bill, passed into law, and it is a Surveying Council Act, then just like the Architects Registration Council, just like the Engineering Council law, it will then set the standards in such a way that when you are doing something, you know that it's punishment. Right now, people choose not even to become professionals. And when they don't, so they go ahead doing things and they don't follow those ethical principles that or the ethical codes that we have. They don't follow it. And it's a big challenge for us, and we want it addressed.
The Ghana Institution of Surveyors will, as part of 19th Surveyors Week celebration, induct about 300 new members into the institution.
Now, Consolidated Bank Ghana has partnered Casa Preco PLC to raise medium-term funding from the public market. According to Managing Director of CBG, Daniel Wilson Addo, they are in a better position to manage the perceived risks indigenous small and medium enterprises face in accessing cheap long-term finance for growth and development.
According to the Managing Director of Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited, Daniel Wilson Addo, they are in a better position to manage the perceived risks indigenous small and medium enterprises face in accessing cheap long-term finance for growth and development.
On the one part, Casa Preco would have the capital to first of all grow its business, have the capital for working capital that is needed to be able to satisfy its customer base. At the end of the day, we'll be able to put together a structure around the funding of its balance sheet that would make economic sense for the company. In the way we deal with the perceived risk. Said before, I say it again, our business is not to run away from risks. Our business is to manage those risks. Our business is to advise these local businesses and local corporates on how best to run their financial affairs so as to ensure that they are able to fund the operations and able to grow.
The Managing Director of Casa Preco Company Limited, Richard AJ, was optimistic this financing will enable it to capitalize on the African continental free trade area.
So it's certainly something that Casa Preco will be using part of this capital raise to tackle. As we speak now, Casa Preco is one of maybe the only beverage company that is producing in Nigeria now, and we're also producing in Liberia. It's still a work in progress for a lot of the countries, but we'll say that the first step is always good, and I would say that it's still going well. We've been able to ship into Kenya and South Africa under the AFTA.
The 600 million Ghana cedis issuance is a 3-year senior unsecured note with a floating rate coupon and a bullet repayment of principal at maturity. It will be issued in tranches to refinance short-term debt, support working capital, and finance the capital expenditure of the company.
Now, Access Bank Ghana has signed an MOU with Mark Autos to provide Ghanaians with safer and affordable means of vehicle ownership. The partnership was birthed to re-echo the bank's commitment to addressing mobility needs of the everyday Ghanaian and Ghanaian businesses. The following report has more.
The partnership between Access Bank and Mark Autos seeks to address the fundamental need for accessible and affordable vehicle ownership in Ghana. Speaking on the need for the collaboration, Group Head of Business Banking at Access Bank, Kwawu, stated that transportation is a crucial aspect of Ghana's economy.
For Access Bank, we have always promised beyond banking. We don't want to just continue to focus on our core banking. So what we try to look for is, can we do something different for customers? So we have chosen this transportation sector. So our objective is to reduce challenges that are faced by this mobility sector. And we came into this partnership because we think we will be able to negotiate a good deal for customers. We'll be able to get discount that they cannot go and negotiate. And we'll also take away that challenge of financing. Everybody wants to buy a new car, but how to get the money to buy the new car is so difficult. That's why we are entering into this partnership to provide that funding so that they will be able to acquire new cars. And we know when you acquire new cars, the advantages are immense. You know, for maybe about 5 years, you are not going to spend on spare parts, and they are more economical, they are efficient, they are safer.
On his part, the country head for Mark Autos Ghana, Rahman Malhotra, stated that the partnership with Access Bank coincides with 10 years of operating in Ghana's automobile industry.
Mac Ghana is an authorized distributor for MG, Chevrolet and Isuzu brands in Ghana and other parts. Mac is a 100% subsidiary of Mansour Group, which is an Egypt-based company, which happens to be one of the largest automobile companies in entire Africa. As I mentioned, that we are the distributors for MG and Chevrolet and Isuzu cars. So today we have partnered with Access Bank, who also happen to be one of the leading banks in Ghana and Africa, wherein we have signed a MOU to make finance accessibility easier for the citizens and nationals of Ghana who have an aspiration to buy a new car, but due to unavailability of finance, they are unable to fulfill their dreams. So I'm sure today's partnership between Mac Ghana and Access will open a lot of doors for those people who can approach us when they want to buy a car.
Opportunity International Savings and Loans Limited is working to extend its lending services to an online platform to ease the difficulties in accessing loans for businesses. Chief Executive Officer Kwawu says the digital platform would allow clients to access loans from across the country whilst ensuring their safety on the internet. In celebration of its 20th anniversary, the non-banking financial institution is also strategizing to improve loan packages targeted at supporting women-led businesses and the physically challenged people. Here's more in this report.
In ensuring the convenience of customers in accessing services, Opportunity International Savings and Loans Limited is promoting the use of mobile application. Kwawu is the Chief Executive Officer.
This year, hopefully we are looking at launching a new digital loan platform where clients need not to come to a physical branch to be able to access a loan. From wherever you are on your mobile phone, you can access Opportunity International. We already have it in the form of the savings products where connection to a Momo wallet, you can move money from your wallet to your account and vice versa. But what we are trying to add is a loan bit, where once you have an account with us, you can access a loan from every location across the country.
Mr. Owusu was speaking on the sidelines of the company's 20th anniversary launch in Kumasi. Established in 2004, Opportunity International Savings and Loans Limited focuses on lending services to agriculture, education and other sectors of the economy. The thrift institution, which began with only 3 branches, now boasts of 64,000 customers across its 38 branches nationwide, with women forming more than 65% of the clientele.
Often it's the men who go after capital to impact their businesses, and we believe that a life that is going to help transform societies should start with women, and that's why we have our 67% of our clients as women, because we believe that if women are transformed socially and economically, it becomes a beneficial factor for the entire society.
Board chair of the institution, Kate Asem, says the institution is strategizing to sustain its position as one of the biggest savings and loans companies in Ghana.
We're looking forward, and we ask that you let us be all poised and embrace the future with optimism and confidence. Let us continue to uphold the values that have brought us to this point, and let us remain steadfast in our commitment to delivering value to our shareholders, our clients, and the communities we serve.
The institution currently boasts of a loan portfolio balance of over 190 million Ghana cedis, a deposit balance of over 268 million Ghana cedis, and with a total asset value pegged at over 400 million Ghana cedis. In the last 2 decades of transforming lives, the clients of the finance institution shared their benefits of becoming financially independent.
Na me so bu ha obeji eno anso ababeji ufo training mu a be bo bebre ti na me bo me officer me ba no aba so say wabo me so training me no ma me hu se sika na me je no se na ese me de ye se na ese me de ye abo me pa me ye ka adwuma me ni me ku opportunity kra to ka amaye aka ne da wo sesi a abo me mama hwe me ma university bebre.
For Joy Business, my name is Emmanuel Kwawu.
Now, as part of measures to support small and medium enterprises in Ghana, Japanese ambassador to Ghana says his country will increase investments in that space. Hisanobu Moshizuku says more Japanese investors are interested in putting their monies in some key sectors to create jobs. He spoke to Joy Business at a donation of some 6 cars to the Ghana Enterprises Agency.
The support provided by the government of Japan with technical assistance from the United Nations Industrial Development Organization aims to enhance GEA's capacity to deliver training services across the nation using the Kaizen approach, a testament to the collaborative efforts aimed at economic development and SME support in Ghana.
Actually, main purpose is to support Ghana. And we have been implementing this project in cooperation with Ministry of Trade and Industry, UNIDO, and implementation by Ghana Enterprises Agency. And these vehicles will be used for that purpose to introduce the philosophy of Kaizen.
UN Resident Coordinator Charles Abani emphasized the timeliness of this project.
I think too the lessons from COVID have been clear that unless Ghana actually grows its own productive capability, increases its revenues from exports, and is competitive in the world with a very strengthened and enhanced private sector, it will not be able to deliver on that vision of a self-reliant.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Kwesi Yankee, I underscore the government prioritization of MSME development as a cornerstone for job creation and economic development.
The resources, the tools that would help us really implement the work that we've been working on for the past couple of years now. So this journey with Kaizen started over 10 years ago. And in 2017, we decided to take it to a different dimension. The reason behind it was that Kaizen was actually the tool that had helped us transform a lot of the MSMEs in Ghana. We'd seen an improvement in productivity. We'd seen that they had been able to efficiently change the systems within their organizations and businesses, and was actually making them very profitable.
The initiative underscores the commitment to scale national efforts for SME promotion, focusing on sustainable and continual enhancement of business quality and productivity across Ghana.
This initiative aims to elevate the competitiveness of Ghana agribusinesses by fostering improvements in productivity and sustainability. The program is centered on 3 pivotal areas: enhancing the capabilities of GEA to support agribusinesses more effectively, expanding the National Kaizen Initiative to encompass food and agribusiness sectors.
The support forms part of the expanding the Kaizen initiative by enhancing sustainable agribusiness projects funded by Japan. James Eshen's report for Joy Business.
And that's our program this afternoon. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business, just to give you an idea of what's making news over there. I'll soon visit post to weed out corrupt activities That's the finance minister. We heard from him. Also, cedi depreciates 3.56% to dollar since January 1, $1 going for 12 cedi 75 pesos. myjoyonline.com/business. We will be back same time tomorrow.